Welcome to Black Inks Reviews. Today, I'll be giving my take on the new Vampirella issue number 1 by Christopher Priest. I've had a hard time trying to get my head around this book and how to address it, so I'll start with the backstory. Back in May, Christopher Priest had an interview via email with Newsarama. At some point, the journalist tried to trap Priest for making a statement that could be generalized as prescribing to a two-gender perspective. Crazy, I know. Priest stood by his statement and echoed a lot of what Comicsgate is about, not kowtowing to a certain line to be accepted, staying fairly neutral regarding Joe Biden, and addressing the guilty until proven innocent and gotcha culture we currently live in today. Because of this and his already established relationship with Dynamite, he made the fandom aware and pushed for a boycott. If I'm not mistaken, it's had the most pre-sale numbers for Vampirella, if not the whole of Dynamite's existence, totaling over 130,000 copies pre-ordered. So how do I feel about it now that I've read it? I think it's a win for Comicsgate. I know, you're probably screaming at me in disbelief, but let's go through the plot and I'll try to make my case. The book starts with a monologue referencing the Yellow Brick Road, while the art of Gunduz, I know I'm saying that wrong, takes us through the wreckage from a plane crash, leading us to the two-page spread titled Vampirella, Seduction of the Innocent, Book 1, Yellow Brick. Yeah, it's a mouthful. It's present day and Vampirella is going under the alias Ella Normandy. She's in the office of Dr. Chari, who supposedly treats victims of trauma. He listens to her story of an immortal enemy, Von Christ, and at every turn berates her or mocks her, flat out telling her she's crazy. The character is instantly unlikable, and I would guess a strong deciding factor going forward for readers questioning buying the next issue. Ella's story is simple enough. She's from a distant planet, now claiming Earth as her home, when Von Christ, a World War I commander, attacks her and causes a plane to crash 6 weeks prior to the current setting. The way the story goes from present to past repeatedly in just one issue thus far is jarring to say the least, and having read some Vampirella previously, her personality seems muted thus far, timid and unassertive. While the art isn't horrible, I can't help feel like I'm looking at an airline emergency pamphlet. Something seems off and there's nothing visually memorable. Even the one page devoted to her taking flight is a bit flat in my opinion. The thing people have taken note of the most is a sequence of dialogue from Doc Chari, seemingly political and yet again another mainstream writer echoing a sort of leftist sentiment. Chari surmises if she is in fact a vampire, perhaps her world is better than ours. No war, no racism, no homophobia. He then states, okay, I get it. You come from this evolved race, but see, now you're stuck here on our superstitious primitive world, where guns and religion substitute for rational inquiry. Vampires are the new Negroes. Welcome to my world. A lot of people feel duped and let down as they were excited for a new product to get behind from mainstream comics. Here we have a black man writing an apparent angry black character expressing a thought reminiscent to Obama's infamous clinging to guns and religion comment during his campaign, as well as telling Ella she's the new Negro. I understand the aversion to not support issue 2 and beyond, but I think we may be jumping the gun. Priest is a progressive Christian and a Baptist minister. He very well could be actively preaching at the audience and self-inserting through the Chari character, but after rereading his interview from Newsarama and knowing the clout behind his name in comics, I'll assume Chari's comments are the characters themselves. It's important in our movement of Comicsgate to let a story develop before we firmly stamp it agenda-based. If anything, I'd say the story thus far is just a dud. I don't expect a lot of boycotters to come back. I think I will for issue 2 just to give it a fair chance, but I'm not expecting much. So in closing this out, why do I think this is a win for Comicsgate? After having a trial run deal that was overwhelmingly successful with Ethan Van Sciver's Cyber Frog crossover, it's clear that management of Dynamite is trying to find ways to diversify its market and appeal to more customers. With the boycott push, Dynamite's had one of, if not the most successful single issue thus far for the company. It would seem, in large part, thanks to us, Comicsgate. With so many likely to be turned off by the Chari character, regardless of the intended context, expect to see a huge dip from issue 1 to issue 2, more so than is normal. That dent to the pocketbook could very well incentivize Dynamite to seek out more ways to appease eager, paying customers who just want an engaging, entertaining story without unnecessary political slant. Let me know in the comments how you feel about this first issue of Vampirella, the effect of Comicsgate on Dynamite and mainstream comics, and if you were a part of the boycott. And if so, will you be purchasing issue 2? Hail War Campaign and Hail Caesar! If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. If you'd like to support this channel, consider becoming a patron or buying store merch from the Teespring store. Don't forget to check out the growing list of friends in the Fandom Collective in the description below. And follow me on Twitter, @AngusReviews. See you there.